Good morning everybody. So with today's video I'm going to give you my top 10 woody fragrances designer edition for 2024. It's been a little while since I've done this. It's been at least 2 years. It's probably going on 3, so why not do a new video? And this will not come as any shocker because when it comes to my top videos, they are not in any numerical order for the most part. Neither is this one. And this video will be a mixed match of both cheapies and maybe a few more expensive designers, but for the most part, a lot of these will be $50 or less. First one is going to be D Squared Greenwood. This is pretty much just a woody aromatic. This one has lemon and black pepper. It's got cedar, it's got a little bit of resin, it's got vetiver, musk, and also cypriol oil with some ambroxan. For the most part, it's just a very woody scent that is quite aromatic, some citruses with a little bit of like an ambery resins. It's actually quite nice. It's nothing groundbreaking, but this brand does not get a lot of mention in this community. This, for the most part, is predominantly vetiver and cedar. Very, very woody with a lot of lemon. It's an everyday fragrance that I think that just someone who is like an everyday guy, someone who only wants a few fragrances in his collection, pretty much I find that this entire list is that. You know, if you're a fragster, you don't need all these fragrances. It's just a waste of cash. But I find that this would be like a great wear for like everyday work. Whether it's white collar, blue collar, it don't really matter. This is more of a spring and autumn scent. Longevity, you're gonna get about 6 hours. Let's stick with the brand of D Squared, shall we? Because I find that they do really good woody fragrances, and that's gonna be D Squared Original. I think that this one came out in 2022 or 2023, one or the other. But this is like, this reminds me a lot of the, I don't want to say the original because this is the original, but a lot of the past releases that are now discontinued. I'm talking about fragrances that were released between like 2009 and maybe even like 2013, 2014 at the latest, when they had like the wood trimming around a square bottle. These new bottles they're more ideal because they're easier to hold, but I just prefer the older ones because I think it's just like nostalgia, because back then FragCon for me was simpler, was more of a community, wasn't really so much of the influencer culture. But this does remind me of back then, those fragrances. So it does have a lot of aromatics, and that is going to be the violet leaf. There's heavy in violet leaf, there's going to be a little bit of cardamom, heavy in cedar, vetiver, and silver fir, but there is a little bit of aquatics. There is that aquatic feel and that a little bit ozonic feel from the violet leaf itself. Very woody, very aromatic. This one is, in my opinion, more fresher than this one here. And I prefer this one. This one is a little bit more masculine as well, but it does remind me of the Rocky Mountains. Because when I did review some of those back in the day, I think I reviewed one of them, oh God. When I reviewed it on top of Grouse Grind, I haven't been there in like 7 years. I love Vancouver, but it does remind me of Vancouver. It reminds me of the times of, yes, yesteryear of FragCon, but also of my trips out west. I love British Columbia. For me, that is God's country. That is paradise. That's just heaven on earth. Like, the watery notes remind me of the Pacific Ocean. The silver fir, the cedar remind me of the coniferous trees on the mountain itself. The crispness that this has, that airiness, reminds me of that cool, crisp breeze while I'm on top of the mountain. Just, it's amazing. This one here is a great everyday fragrance. You're gonna get about 6 to 7 hours, and I find that this would also be a great office fragrance, but it's actually a pretty versatile fragrance. Dressing it down like casually, but if you're going to a daytime semi-formal event, I think that you can wear this with a suit and tie. Fragrance number 3, let's go with something a little bit more expensive, and in my opinion, this could actually be a unisex fragrance, even though it's marketed towards the men, and that is going to be Dunhill's Indian Sandalwood. So if you love sandalwood and you have not checked this one out, please do so. This is a great scent. So I ended up reviewing this one with my friend Raminder, who has been on my channel a few times. Raminder is from Punjab, India, and I wanted to get his take on it because being from India, sandalwood is just a big thing in the South Asian community. Whether you're from Pakistan, whether you're from India, Sri Lanka, Goa, Bangladesh, he did state that this does remind him of home. This is very heavy in sandalwood. It's got carrot, it's got orris, a little bit of moss, some patchouli, and a little bit of bergamot in the top. For the most part, the main takeaway is definitely that sandalwood, but I would also say you're going to get that orris as well. The orris does add that powdery undertone, making this, in my opinion, a unisex fragrance. It's nothing overly masculine, but it has a gentleman quality to it. So I find that generally like very woody fragrances can go either like bad boy or gentlemanly. This just leans a lot more gentlemanly. And performance is actually quite good. This is like 9-10 hours. For fragrance number 4, I have not visited this brand in, it's gotta be a couple of years. So that's gonna have to change because a lot of guys do like this brand, and that's gonna be Issey Miyake L'Eau de Cypre Homme Wood and Wood. This is a very woody fragrance. Just based off the name, you're expecting a lot of woods. But this is a little bit different because it has a very unusual note of apricot. You're going to get Haitian vetiver, there is sandalwood, there is Virginia cedar. There is going to be a little bit of that grapefruit in the opening with a little bit of elemi and some cardamom. But just woody, citrusy, fruity with a little bit of resins. That's what this is. It's such a unique, well, I don't want to say unique, an unusual scent. That's the word I should be using because of the apricot. The apricot does add that fruity nuance, maybe a little bit of sweetness to it. Not all that much, but it kind of does tone down that masculinity, but I like it. I find that this is just an everyday fragrance. Longevity, you're gonna get about 7 to 8 hours. Fragrance number 5, this one kind of gets overshadowed by its little brother. This is the original. Burberry Hero EDT. The parfum is the one that gets all the love, and it's a great scent. I love it, but I got this. I don't need any more, and the price tag is, for Burberry, it's pretty expensive. But this one I really like. It's got a lot of bergamot in the opening. It's got a lot of juniper berries with a little bit of black pepper, and it's got 3 different types of cedar. Atlas, Virginia, and Himalayan cedar. All 3 cedars make this a very woody fragrance, but there's going to be a fair bit of bergamot. The bergamot doesn't, it lasts more than I thought it would, but you're also going to get a lot of juniper berries. The juniper does add a little, does add that extra woodiness, but it adds a little bit of a medicinal aromatic feel. On my skin it does. This is a great spring and autumn scent. I originally thought that maybe colder season, like winter, but I don't think that this is going to cut through the cold. Longevity, you're going to get about 7 hours. Next one, this brand gets a lot of flack in our community. They say it doesn't last. They put out like shitty fragrances. There might be some truth to that, but what I've smelt from the brand, I've liked pretty much every single one. I love the brand when it comes to their fashion. I used to be big into their fragrances. I still got a lot, but this one is actually one of their better ones. Kenneth RSVP for men. This is a very woody fragrance. If you were to buy this one, when I got it, I don't know if it still is, but it comes in like a wooden box, like a wooden coffin sort of box, and the box itself, the opening, just opens up like that. It doesn't open like this, just slides open. Really cool. But this, yes, is a very woody fragrance with a lot of sandalwood. It's got some vetiver, a lot of cedar. But what makes this one different is going to be that iris accord, which adds a little bit of a powdery undertone. There is also going to be orchid, which makes this a little bit different as well. And the base itself is going to be like cashmere and patchouli. Really like this one. It's not a projector. This is a fragrance for you if you were to get it. Orchid, iris, woods, pepper. I'm gonna have to start wearing this one a little bit more. It's really like, it's an underrated scent that is understated. If you are an introvert, and believe it or not, I am an introvert, this is a fragrance that you might like. See, I come across as very goofy, loud, which I can be around those that I'm very comfortable with. But for the most part, like if I'm at a gathering or something like that with a lot of people, I'm in the corner. I'm not a huge people's person. I don't like people. I like persons. I like small groups of people. And this is a fragrance for someone who is very introverted, who, I don't want to say shy, but who's more to himself, who likes to be alone, who doesn't like a lot of attention. That's this. And longevity is going to be about 6 hours. Next fragrance apparently has been discontinued. That's what I've been hearing for like the last 2 or 3 years, but it's still available online. Maybe not as cheap as it used to be, like 20 to 25 bucks, but it's going for about $45 to $60, so it's still affordable. This is a mouthful, and I always get it wrong. Issey Miyake L'Eau Bleue. So this is a very woody fragrance. So L'Eau Bleue. You're thinking that this is going to be an aquatic woody. No, it's not. This fragrance does have a whole lot of woods of cypress, atlas cedar, patchouli. It's got some sandalwood, definitely the juniper berries, but it has other notes of lavender. It's got mandarin orange, a nice lime in the opening, along with some rosemary. It's got lemongrass, but it also has a lot of kick to it with the star anise and the pink pepper, along with the ginger. Overall, it's like the classification. It's a woody aromatic. Very woody, with a lot of spices and a little bit of citruses in the opening. This is a man's man scent in my opinion. Very masculine, a little aggressive if you overapply it. So I'm thinking 3 sprays and you're good. A little bit more herbal and spicy in the air, but on skin, woody with spices. But, whew, yeah, that's a bit of a punch to the face. This is a very masculine scent, as I stated, but I think that this is like leather jacket, bad boy, all the way to suit and tie, gentlemen. This is long lasting. This is like 9-10 hours. Sillage, really good projection. Less is more. Again, less is more. 3 sprays and you're good to go. Number 8. This is actually a really solid scent and I really was not expecting it, but Mercedes-Benz Man Private. This is pretty much just a woody, spicy, ambery scent. That spice is going to be the cardamom. That amber is going to be the labdanum. The woods is going to be cedar, a lot of cypress with a little bit of patchouli. There is going to be some ambroxan and some lavender. Overall, just a very woody, spicy, like a woody cardamom spicy with that amber. This is really good. Like, is it different? No, it ain't. But damn, like I was really surprised when I did this one because I thought I wouldn't like it. The main takeaway I would say is the cypress. The cypress I find is the main note and it really adds that density. You are going to get the cedar, but for the most part, I always say it's more cypress than anything. This is a very versatile fragrance. So if you are just looking for, let's say 2 woody fragrances, make it 3. Make it 3. I would go with these. Fragrance number 9. If you are looking for something that would be considered a senior citizen in today's age, it's almost 70 years old. It really has, because this was launched in 1955. If you know who Serapio Silva is, you already know it's going to be Pino Silvestre, the original. I gotta state, this definitely smells old school, but I did not think I was going to like it, but if you love, like if you're looking for a good, tacky as hell, pine cone, if you're looking for a good pine fragrance, this is one that you gotta check out, and it's like $25 or less. But a lot of pine tree needles. It's got cedar, juniper berries, got some old school notes of basil, lavender, the clary sage, the carnation. There's definitely some oak moss, and there's gonna be a little bit of lemon and lavender. Overall, this is like an old school gentleman type of fragrance. Sprayer is not bad neither. Like for it's under 20 bucks really. You can get this as low as like 12. Oh yeah, very synthetic as can be, but very citrusy and very woody, like very green sort of woody. Old school masculine right here. And last but not least, I have to add this clip to the original video. Trust me, this is not the original. I had to take out my capsule because I had the wrong one. Stupid me, but this is a great substitute that's very masculine, but at the same time, it's gently, and it's a new release, a lot newer, and that's going to be Burberry Hero EDT. So this is just a very woody fragrances. It's got like 3 different types of cedar. It's got Atlas, Himalayan, and Virginia cedar, but throw in some patchouli, some benzoin, olibanum, incense, and pine needles. So once again, super woody with ambery tones and a little bit of a smoky incense. Very, very nice. Like, I reviewed this one, I think it was earlier in the year. It was like either January or February. I had like snow behind me on some trees. I filmed that outside. This is perfect for the winter time. It's great for the autumn season. This just has like some bad boy qualities, but again, it has some gentleman qualities as well. You could wear this with a leather jacket all the way to a tuxedo, and longevity, you're gonna get about 8 to 9 hours. And guys, that is top 10 Woody fragrances for 2024 Designer Edition. If you want more detailed reviews of these, they will all be down in the description box below. I've pretty much talked about all of them. Guys, if you like this very video, please leave me one of these. It does help with the channel and the algorithms. What videos to watch next? Well, why don't you check out right here. So thank you for your time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.